Uh-oh. Shit. Gandahar, 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 Gandahar. Gandahar. So, this is Gandahar. What a film this was. Amazing film. It reminds me of Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000, though I have yet to see that. And it definitely reminds me of Wizards, though this is a little more tame. The story is simplified than Wizards. This is a French film and translated in American subtitles. So this is mostly like just like Fantasia for 80s dummies. Um, I remember what year this was. 87, right? So here's the summary. This animated film is set on the planet Gandahar, where peace reigns and poverty is unknown. It's kind of like Avatar, right? But the people are not 20 feet tall. The utopian lifestyle is upset by reports of people at the outlying frontiers being turned to stone, sent to investigate Prince Sylvain, John Shee. Is that the same John Shee who did Lex Luthor? I think. He crashes and is rescued by the deformed. Hideous genetic experiments gone wrong and left to fend for themselves. With their help, Sylvain discovers that what the metamorphosis, a gigantic brain, also created an experiment is trying to destroy Gandahar. So, I don't know if it's the same John Shee. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. What I can tell you, it's an amazing film. You have these blue creatures, so try to pretend you're on a different planet with no association to Earth, where the aliens happen to speak French, an Earth language, but whatever. Never mind that. So these are the black robots, the metal men. No relation to the DC comic characters. The lowest hanging fruit on the DC universe tree. These metal men turn the blue people into stone. So you saw a little bit of what the planet is like, what these people are like in sort of indigenous tribes, sort of like the times of Gilgamesh before the beginnings of Rome and all that. You know, when people just had a little bit of a civilization to distinguish themselves from the animals. When people got out of the trees and stood on their 2 feet. And that's what these people look like. Blue people that have like pets sucking off titties and red fruit and vegetables growing out of nowhere, and then people turn to stone. And this is sort of like the robots here are upsetting the Basically, it's upsetting the status quo. Like, oh, okay, we don't like these blue people. We're taking over the planet. And I guess that could be true. I mean, when you look at the deformed tribe here, the same could be said. Like, if you look at the episode of Star Trek where you had people living in the sky, and then you had people living in tunnels. These are the same people, but they were forced to live in tunnels while the other people got to live in the sky. So the blue people, I forget what they're called, but the blue people are perfect looking. So if you imagine the Avatar, I remember this one woman had a problem with Kate Winslet, a woman of white color, playing a blue person, when she had this perception that only black people could play the Avatar cat people. And I'm like, it's a fictional race of beings. What do you expect? What are you expecting exactly to be on the table here? So it doesn't really matter. But they're all metaphors, right? So you got the perfect blue people, and if there were ever a race of minorities, these are the minorities on this planet. Okay, we know what our minority groups are on Earth, but these are the minorities on the planet of Gandahar. And so, obviously, these people have to work together. The blue people and the deformed people have to work together to stop the ultimate brain. Now, nobody knows exactly where these metal men came from. They came from the future, right? So you got Sylvain, and then you got Ambisextra. Ambisextra, what a very French-like name. Ambisextra and Sylvain together forever, maybe. But they meet, they mate, um, and then they meet a big dragon who thought it was its mother, it was its baby because they were trapped in an egg. They have these weapons that turn into trees and thorns and branches to like kill people, I guess. The blue people have strange guns. They have all this technology and armor and shit, and the deformed people only have their wits. But I guess because the blue people can be indigenous and they can be excelled in inventions and in the industry, but the deformed people just don't have that. So the metal men, the black robots, are from the future. And in this future, according, of course, Ambisextra comes up with the conclusion that the people that are turned to stone, the blue people especially, not the deformed people, they don't want them, just the blue people, right? They're taken into stone and converted into the more black robots, and then they come and bring in some more. So they say that the blue people are stupid, the deformed people are really stupid, but we the robots, we know more. We the machines know more than they do. We answer to a higher power, the giant brain in the future. Now this is 1,000 years apart. This story takes place over 1,000 years. But 1,000 years is more of a plot device than it really is. You're seeing 1,000 years, right? Because not much happens except that the robots take over. Kind of think of it in terms of Sonic CD. In Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic has to stop Eggman from taking over the nice green planet and turning it into like a Death Star with pollution and smog and engines and chugging of gas fluids and machinery and no nature. So nature versus machinery, right? So the big brain at the end of this uh, wants to take over everything, destroy all of nature, replace. So there's an ocean by the civilization where there's a council of the blue people and all that, and that's turned to giant towers. And there's a doorway of time to go in between the 1,000 years. So push comes to shove. Sylvain and Bisextra, the council of blue people, they decide. I'm saying this as best I can. Trying to explain all of this in the best way. They go to the future. No, they decided that they have to stop the big brain. That's their plan. They were going to go stop him. And then the big brain tells Sylvain, you just best wait 1,000 years to stop me, to destroy me. And then that's the best way. But you can't do it now. And it's like, well, why can't I do it now? But you have to do it in the 1,000 years because it makes more sense. I mean, I guess. I really don't know. So he's transported into a capsule under the ocean and waits. It goes into the doorway or he's in suspended animation for 1,000 years. Then gets to the future, meets like the same tribe of deformed people, and they go to the giant brain, and the giant brain laughs at him and throws him off. But it's like, no, you told me to defeat you. Oh, is that what I told you? You think wasn't I lying to you? I think I was lying to you. I don't think I was telling you the truth. I think that I was messing with you. I'm going to destroy you. So they destroy him anyway. They kill him anyway. Then they go through the doorway of time back to the proper time. And Sylvain says at the end, why did I even need to defeat him? My people are gone. Now, the people, the sort of the city hall where all the people go to is this big head. So they go to that head, and that's the highest seat of power. So I imagine there must be a city where these people live. And then there's the tribe, the blue tribe, but I imagine there must be a city. So there's all this stuff. So at the end of this, they all survive. And I guess these people come back to see their. Hope I don't get. I'll do a little bit. Okay, I did a little bit because that to this Guardian's right is ambisextra, but YouTube guidelines and all that. I want to be very careful here. So you got to see a titty for free. Good on you, blue titties. You're not going to see blue titties in Avatar. I'll tell you that right now. Now, looking at all this, there's time travel, there's the upheaval of one group for another group, kind of like the X-Men, right? So if the X-Men are better than humans, then the Sentinels would kill the X-Men, right? But then they would kill humans too. And it kind of reminds me of that. The hierarchy is the blue people are better than the deformed tribe, but then the robots are better than all of the both groups combined because the robots don't care about Gandahar. They care. See, it's like like the Naboo, the Gungans and the humans. The Gungans and the humans care about Naboo, but not the Sith and not the Trade Federation. The robots don't care about Gandahar at all. The Marines don't care about the blue people of Pandora of Avatar. So, or Awa, the god. So it's a little bit of this and that. The Sentinels, like in X-Men Days of Future Past, all they care about is just being better than the other things. So it's a story that's been told many times. This is before X-Men, of course, before a lot of those other stories, actually. Well, actually, let's see. This came after Star Wars. So, and this came before the prequels, though. But I still like it. René Laloux directed this, did Fantastic Planet, and then what is it, Time Masters? So if you really like this video, I'll probably look at those two. Would I say it ranks high on the death metal? I'm probably not as much. I would say this is more heavy metal. So I don't think it focuses on the lore as much, but there's a lot of fantastic imagery that I still enjoyed. So I think it doesn't reach those dark levels that I was hoping it would reach. But it's on the same wavelength as heavy metal and its sequel. So let me give a final score. I'm giving it a solid B. I don't think it was outstanding, but it's not trash. This is classic animation right here. But I feel like between this one and Wizards, I feel like Wizards is better. You know, maybe it's because there's English language in Wizards as well. But I also like all the imagery from Wizards stays with me a bit longer than Gandahar. Gandahar doesn't feel as memorable. There's something, I mean, a lot of these characters are forgettable, but the story overall is good, the animation's good, but the characters don't stick with you long term. Does that make sense? So I gotta be a harsh judge about it. Other than that, I mean, it's very, very good. I mean, better than a lot of things you're gonna see today. But I would prioritize Wizards over this. So what are we going to do Tuesday? Just news stories. We'll just find some stuff in the news that's related to death metal and maybe heavy metal, goth. What's going on with Zack Snyder, I guess, since he's done movies like Sucker Punch and 300. Stuff we've done in the past. We can take a look at stuff. We'll see what happens.